When you're big, you're big. Pause. That's gonna be the intro for every single YouTube video from now on. When you're big, you're big. Okay. But in this video, we're gonna discuss Benjamin Sesko and his almost solidified move to Man United. Well, first off, United finally have a striker. At the end of last season, one of the main key areas that we wanted to fix, or I should say that we all saw that the team needed to fix, was the striker situation. Yes, Rasmus Højlund is young. Yes, Joshua Zirkzee is also young. But when you're Man United, you can't be scoring 40 goals in a Premier League season. That's just, no, that can't happen. There is so much criticism on the two, and pretty fair criticism. I think some was a little bit harsh, but I do believe that we definitely needed a striker at the end of that season. So far, the club has done such a good job in recruitment for our attack. Obviously, completing the deal for Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo. I think those are two very solid pickups for, well, I shouldn't even say solid. Those are very good compared to what we had before with Garnacho, an aging Eriksen, Anthony for a little bit, Rashford when he didn't want to play for us. It's definitely an upgrade on those two. But moving back to Benjamin Sesko, we definitely needed a striker. At the beginning of the transfer window, I think most United fans thought it was going to be Victor Gyökeres. In my personal opinion, I don't understand why we didn't try to sign Osimhen. I understand his wages would have been crazy. He would have wanted 400K a week, 350K a week, and maybe that's what we're trying to avoid, but that's besides the fact. Let's talk about Benjamin Sesko. Am I excited? Yes. Is this a good signing? Yes. We don't have to employ Rasmus Højlund anymore, so I'm excited. No, but on a real note, we're about to sign one of Europe's most exciting, talented strikers. There's a reason why the likes of Arsenal wanted to sign him. Not even this transfer window, but also the transfer window from before. There's a reason why Newcastle United wanted him. There's a reason why Leipzig rate him as highly as they do. I was watching a video yesterday. Shout out to Culture Camps. Benjamin Sesko, his footballing idol, he said recently, I don't know if it was an interview or if it was a certain post. I saw a post about it. And he said his footballing idol was Zlatan. And yet you can see the comparisons. They're tall, lanky, strong strikers that can strike the hell out of a ball. They're going to pull off some of the most amazing highlights you'll see. They're going to get past a few players, just bang it in the top bins. And maybe it's too early in the video to talk down on Benjamin Sesko. He hasn't even signed for us yet. But one thing that Culture Cams yesterday said in his video, shout out to Culture Cams once again, Benjamin Sesko could be either a Skamaka or he can be a Zlatan. And that's a big gap. Obviously, I don't think we should compare him right now. He's young. He's very raw, boss. And maybe it's just my hopeful United brain, but I do think he's going to do well in this team. I do think it is the archetype of a player that will help us succeed. I think he's very good in transition. I think he's very good at, obviously, in the air. We do, as a team, once we solidify the signing of Benjamin Sesko, because it's eventually going to happen. Here We Go should come relatively soon in the next day or two. Once the clubs figure out the price and any add-ons, and then so the Here We Go should be pretty soon. I think many United fans, myself included, we don't, and honestly, even you can ask Newcastle fans or Arsenal fans, nobody really knows too much about Benjamin Sesko. We know he's athletic, we know he's tall, we know he's good in the air, we know he can strike a ball, we know he has some of the craziest highlight tapes. If I'm sure you'll see it, but go and watch Benjamin Sesko highlights. You will not be disappointed. We don't really know too much about the player. We just know the wow factor about him. And is that something to worry about? I think it should be. As a striker, yes, you want to see the wow moments. You want to see him beat two players, curve it in the top bins, go celebrate, go jump up in the air, punch like this. That's a celebration if you haven't seen it. You want your striker to have those wow moments, those wow factors about him. And that's what Benjamin Sesko brings. But I think one thing that I will look forward to, or I will keep an eye out, and obviously more United fans will as well, is how he will get his goals, right? Because in his highlights, many of his goals are maybe in the air, in the box, the cross, and most of them are him getting the ball, beating a player with his pace or his skill, and shooting it in the top corner or finishing it with the Henry type finish in the bottom corner like this. I just haven't seen enough of those poacher goals. And I'm not saying that's every striker's game. Not everybody's going to be a Filippo Inzaghi. No, not everyone's going to be a Erling Haaland. But I think you want your striker to have elements of that. Because not every play is going to be able to get past three players and shoot it in the top corner. Sometimes you're going to have scrappy goals, scrappy finishes. And I do think that's something that will be interesting to watch in Sesko if he has that in his game, or if he's able to develop that and pick up on the chances that we as a team create. Nonetheless, I do think this is a really good signing for United. It brings excitement to Old Trafford, and I think that's something that fans always want and desire. I do think Sesko will have a good season. Maybe that's too high of a... I do think he would be good for us, and maybe that's just me being hopeful, but I do think he would be good for United. There's a reason all these teams wanted his signature, whether it's Newcastle, whether it's Arsenal, and obviously us. And I'm excited, and I can't wait to see him hopefully start against Arsenal. Now, before I end this video, I also want to talk about Carlos Baleba. Now, just after a couple hours after United agreed personal terms with Benjamin Sesko, there was a report that United contacted Carlos Baleba's camp and told him that they have a very high interest in the player, and they were going to start discussing, maybe just testing the waters of a potential deal. Now, obviously, the Premier League starts in 11 days, and the transfer window ends in about 23 days. That's not a lot of time. And as a Man United fan, I know we need a center midfielder. No, we all know. Even people who don't even support United know that we need a midfielder. We cannot go into next season with just Ugarte, Kobe, Casemiro, Toby Collier, and maybe Mount and Bruno playing those center mid positions. That cannot happen. We need a center mid, a progressive center mid, a box-to-box that can carry the ball, defend. We need Patrick Vieira. No, but I was very nervous that United wasn't going to leave this transfer window with no center mid signing. I'm very glad to hear these news. I think out of all the options we were hearing about, I think Carlos Baleba is the most talented and the best option we can think of. Carlos Baleba was the best option out there just because of how talented he is, how raw he is. I really am hoping as a United fan that we can get this deal over the line, but dealing with Brighton, it's never going to be easy. And especially still getting one of their most important players, it's going to take a big transfer fee and a lot of convincing from the club to sell him, especially this late in the transfer window. That's the main thing I want to say. Brighton's getting ready to start their season in about a week and a half. Why would they want to let go of one of their best players? It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of days, but we will find out what will happen, and I'll keep you guys tuned in.